woman came into the room and was like, "Can I show you something?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she like turned off the lights, and then like literally she had glow in the dark breast implants. And like she was like, "What?" And I was new, so I was like insecure and like nervous, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
welcome back to Talking About the Taboo. Today's guest is all about helping women step into their power, pleasure, and confidence. After more than a decade with pure romance, Stacey Barrett has turned what started a fun side gig, right, into her full-time mission. And she's really been able to guide women in understanding their bodies, embracing their desires at the same time as selling them sex toys that really gives them an area to be empowered in their life. Now, before diving into the world of sexual wellness, Stacey was a third grade teacher. But these days, her lessons are a lot more exciting. She's teaching anatomy and breaking down shame and stigma, and she's proof that real education does not stop at the classroom door. She's continuing her passion of education, but within a more fun, exciting way and with adults. And she's also a mom and married, and she is a dog mom as well. And she also is originally from Buffalo. Go Bills, let's go. Now she is living her life out in Charlotte, North Carolina, where there's no fucking snow right now. Must be nice. And she will continue and has continued to spread her message of confidence, connection, and self-love. How amazing. So grab your wine or your wand, buzz, and ready to talk about toys and the taboo and transformation, all the teas. And we're going to really dive into everything from sex toys and the stigma around them and self-love, and how Stacey has turned her empowerment into a full-time career. And she has a little bit of a secret to share about what's next for her. So stay tuned. I love you all. Communicate. Okay, well, welcome to Talking About the Taboo, Stacey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I am wonderful, honestly. I feel like I'm getting sick again, but I feel like I'm okay. I'm really excited to have you here. So, for the viewers listening, how her and I met. So, she hosts sex parties. Yum, yum, yay, yay. And she's very a wild card. I think the moment she walked in the door, I just kind of felt like a vibe. And I was like buying sex toys, and then I was like, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" She's like, "What? You have a podcast?" And then my friend like told you, I think, that I was like a sex coach, right? And you're like, "Tell
Yeah.
me more."
Uh-huh. I know. Well, that's actually how it worked first, is I was like, so she
Oh
told me
yeah.
this, and you're like, actually I have a podcast. And I'm like, I love podcasts. And you're like, do you want to come on my podcast? I'm like, what? So here we are. That was
It's
over
an
the
honor.
summer because I was in Buffalo.
Yeah, and here we are in freaking November.
I know.
It's okay though. But yeah, I feel like I like to bring individuals on the pod that really honestly, number one, match my passion and match my vibes. So congratulations for meeting the categories.
Oh, thanks.
Before we kind of get going, I kind of want to ask you a icebreaker question. Are you up for it?
Go for it.
Okay. So if you were a sex toy, what kind would you be and why? Go into specifics.
Do you ask other people these things, or is it just because I sell sex toys?
No, I ask people random fucking
Okay,
questions.
good.
I
No, I
swear.
love it. If I were to be a sex toy, I would be any kind of clitoral sex toy, because 85% of women need clitoral stimulation, and a lot of women aren't taking full advantage of that area of the body. Whether because we don't know about it,
Yeah.
right? Or, yeah. So I would be a clitoral sex toy because I feel like I want to be like Oprah and be like, you get one and you get one and you get one. Like everybody needs one.
Yes, and thank you for mentioning that a majority of women actually can only orgasm
Yes.
from their clitoral stimulation. And something that sucks is that a lot of them are expecting internal, and they're like honestly trying to, they get upset or they're down about,
Right. Well, you
not
know
being
what it
able to
is
orgasm.
like we grow up watching movies, right? Or like thinking, and no one's ever like talking about clitoral
Yep.
stimulation during
No.
sex. They're talking about intercourse, right? And so I feel like we're young and, and we're like making out and touching, when you're younger and you're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. Like, I wonder how this is going to feel. And then you're kind of like, I feel like as a woman, now obviously I don't know what a man feels like, right? But as a woman, you're kind of like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like that, this
I
is
agree.
it, right? Because the foreplay is so much better for the woman. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
not good for the man. Again, I can't relate, but then there's not as many nerve endings inside the vagina as there are on the outside, friends.
Yeah, literally, and, like, the clit is, like, literally the only is made for pleasure.
That's the
Like
only thing it does. That's its sole purpose. So
yeah,
like I like to tell people like, you're not stop wasting it. Just stop wasting it. Like it
yeah.
needs to be used.
Thank you for mentioning that too, because they decide people decide to you said, focus more on intercourse. And when you're hosting like your sex parties and things like that, I'm sure this is a conversation that comes up. If someone comes up to you and it's like, I have never had a clitoral orgasm and you're showing me this, vibe, this toy. I don't know how to use this. How can you kind of like merge them through number one, making sure they're deshamified, but two, like selling them the toy that best fits their needs?
Right. So I really feel like it's all about education. And I know you keep saying sex parties but like they are technically sex toy parties
Whatever,
because
guys.
it's really funny. No, it's not. And I'm not even like, how many people say that?
I
And then it's
no,
funny
they
because
should.
people's husbands are like, do you guys have sex at these parties? Like, no, this is not a sex party. And it's not just you. Like it happens all the time. They'll be like, oh, Stacey hosts sex parties. You just see what people's face looks like. So no,
That's
and
funny.
like I just wanted to point
Can't.
that out because I want people to know what we're talking about here. But yes.
I love
So
it.
yeah, and so when I'm at these parties, and honestly, the thing is like people don't realize that like you can actually achieve different types of orgasm. Like they are all orgasm, right? Orgasm is like when you're at the height of pleasure. But so people don't realize that it would be different to have a clitoral orgasm than a vaginal orgasm, but we just like feel it in a different part of our body, right? And so how can I make this not weird? I tell people, I talk to them about like the signs of the clitoris. Like a clitoris is literally like a teeny tiny penis, like, but it has
Yeah.
way more nerve endings. Like when the babies are formed in the body, the actually like in the beginning, everyone is the same, and then like the clitoris just grows if it's a boy, like, and
Yeah.
so like it's just I learned about that when I was like having my babies, and I was like, that's so crazy. But anyway, there's between 10 to 12,000 nerve endings in it. So I tell them like, like this is where most of our nerve endings are, right? And I also I like to tell women to try to orgasm theirself before if they feel like they haven't. If you haven't orgasmed with somebody, I say like, have you ever orgasmed alone? Because it's so hard to be that like it's vulnerable to have an orgasm, right? And if you don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable in your own body to do it alone, you're going to feel weird doing it in front of somebody, especially if they're like, a one night stand or something, maybe if you've been with someone for a long time, I don't know. Like again, like also too, maybe you've been with someone for a long time and you guys have never orgasmed and you feel weird, like, should I have? Like, what's wrong with us? Like, why can't I? Right? I don't even know if I've answered your question, but like,
You
I'm
hell
rambling.
yeah, you have, and then
Okay.
some. I fucking love it. You have. I love it. And you know what? These little like the rampages of conversation continue with the concept of clit communicate. That is my saying. That is my brand. It's
Okay.
my trademarked saying. And everything you just said is it. I don't care if it's a one
Cool.
night stand. I don't care if it is a, partner you haven't seen in a while. I don't care if it's your
Right.
your husband, your wife, your multiple partners. I don't care. You need to clit communicate. And clit communicate is representing that having a conversation of what you want. What are your core desires? How do you want to feel intimately? Do you like penetration? Does penetration hurt? Do you prefer clitoral stimulation? Do you prefer G spot, A spot? Do you like both? We don't have these conversations and then we continue to in the beginning you were saying how women usually are like, oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
like the disappointment. And if we don't communicate, we are continuously disappointed. And
Yeah, and the thing
yeah,
is we think if like it's just going to get better. Like if you don't tell your partner you like or don't like something, like they're going to keep doing the same thing.
yeah.
Divorce rate is through the roof. Like
Hmm.
and I mean one of the big things is I mean I've talked to women. There was a woman at my party the other day, married, 40 some years. She hasn't had sex in 14 years. Like and
Yep.
she's married, and like and it's so hard because like her husband, it's hard for him to like get an erection at this point just because of their age, but like he doesn't want to, he's embarrassed to do something
Mhm.
about it. And she's like, honey, I don't care, you know? And so, but
Yeah.
then like, she feels all of this shame, like there's something wrong with her because like for
Ugh.
years he didn't tell her that like it was hard for him because he was embarrassed. Like there's so much shame around sex and it's hard. It's so hard
Yeah.
for men and women.
Yes, yes, and the shame, talking about that too, and it's hard
Hmm.
to even with a partner you've known forever, sometimes it really, really is hard to have that, like, internal conversation with themselves and then, like, externally, like, talk to their partner about it,
We don't want to hurt
and
anyone's feelings. Like that's
no.
what we think. Like, oh, I don't want to make them feel
Yes.
bad. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Yeah.
Yes, 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 making them feel bad, making them be shamed that I can't give them what they want at this point in time,
Hmm.
and then it does suck, but what is important to talk about in the moment is, "Hey, I feel shame." Maybe not even talking, like, internally, like, about, like, what the actual problem is, "I feel shamed." And then, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like, what do you feel ashamed about?" And kind of getting deeper into the conversations. Um, Before we get kind of crazy into this, though, I am so darn curious about how the hell you started doing sex toy parties because I don't know, I'm weird, I'm crazy, and I know there's a bunch of us around. But
Have you been to one before you came to mine?
yeah, when I was younger though,
Okay. Okay.
like when I was a kid, I shouldn't have gone to one. I was just like nosy and my mom went to one and I remember like her getting me this like shaving cream that
Yep.
helped with I was just starting to shave, so I was like
Yep. The
13.
razor burn. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and, she brought me into the room with the lady, but I obviously didn't go, so, like, this was my first time, like, in it.
Experiencing the presentation. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so
Cool.
excited.
So that's a great question. And I actually got into it. It's almost 13 years. In January, it'll be 13 years.
Wow.
And you know what's so crazy is I got invited to a party by a girlfriend. I used to teach third grade in Buffalo. I'm from Buffalo, New York originally,
Yeah,
and
go Bills.
yeah, and now I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I moved here 5 years ago, but I got invited to a party when I was a teacher. I was actually 20, like 4 years old at the time,
Oh my god,
and
that's my age.
I was engaged in my previous life, and he went on a business trip for a weekend and came back, and his feelings changed. Little
Ugh,
did I know he met somebody on the trip. Best thing that ever happened to me. Please don't feel bad, but my girlfriend called me up from school, the girl across the hall, and she's like, "Girl, I know what you're going through, and what you need is a vibrator. Like, get to this
yes.
party." So she invited me to a party. I didn't even know the girl hosting it. It was her friend. She brought me as a friend. And I sat there and I watched the party and I laughed all night. Like I thought it was so fun. And then the lady at the party was like, "You should do this." And I thought she wanted me to have a party, but she was like, "Would you want to sell this?" And I was like, "No, like I'm a third grade teacher. Like, what do you mean, you know?" And she's like, "You loved it. You were asking questions. You're having so much fun. Like, I think you'd really like this." And to be honest, I got started that day. I didn't know what I wasn't passionate about women's sexual health, but you know what? This lady told me that I can make good money, and I was a broke school teacher with a master's degree that costs like
Yeah.
so much
Yeah. I
money.
know. Ugh.
And so I grew passionate about women's
Yeah.
sexual health because of the education that I learned. But yeah, I just got invited randomly to a sex toy party. I said yes. I was like, "Yes, I will come." And boom, like there.
That's
And
where it
and
started.
so and yeah, it's so then the rest is history. Again, 13 years. This is the longest relationship I've ever had. Okay. Never.
Sex toys always win.
And you know what's funny is I actually never even used the sex toy before I went to this party.
Oh, I
Like, and I
know.
wasn't weird. I wasn't like, I would never. I just like didn't have
Yeah.
one. Like, I didn't like, I don't know. I wasn't like going to Spencer's and like buying that because I know you can get them other places. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so I wasn't like super like,
No, no,
I don't
no. You
know
just haven't
what
explored.
people
That's
expect. People think I have like door swings hanging from my ceiling and like dildos in every room in my house, like because I sell sex toys.
yeah,
It's not the
the
case.
assumptions are
Right.
hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
I can definitely I empathize with the assumptions because when I say I'm a sex coach or sometimes I
Right.
say sex in relationships, sometimes I say intimacy,
Yeah.
whatever, whatever, they're like, "Oh."
Uh-huh.
And so, like, I get DMs all of the time. Just the other day, someone just DM'd me saying, "Will you be my sex coach, baby?" Nope,
Oh
declined.
God.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? No, like,
What's a
no.
sex coach, baby?
Like, no, you're not no, you're not coming on my page. And,
Here's
I
here's my Cash
respect
App.
that. Yeah, no, literally, please. I'll send you like pictures of my toes, or I'll send you my underwear in the mail
I
or
know, so
something.
weird.
Of
Yeah.
course, I'm worried about that. I don't know if you've ever heard about people sending their socks or underwear with their
Yes.
discharge on it.
Yes.
I'm
Well, the
worried
thing
about
is like being in this space, I've heard so much stuff. I'm like, what? And I love it. Like, I'm never one to judge, but it's just funny. Like, it just proves like people are into different things and you have to communicate like what you're into. And it might not
this.
be weird to your partner and you don't know until you say it. And like, if they do
Yeah.
think it's weird, they might be like, let's talk about that a little more, right? And if they're
Yes.
super like rude and nasty, maybe they're not for you, right?
No,
Like
absolutely, yeah.
we need to be open-minded. Like everyone's different. We all come from different places. We all are into different things. And if your partner's shaming you for like what you're into, like I'm not telling you to break up, but like it doesn't sound real healthy.
No, if you aren't able to fully express yourself without
Yeah.
holding your breath, this is with your friends, this is with your partner, this is like
Yeah.
sometimes even with family. Maybe you
Yep.
should just choose to maybe like choose a distance or choose, and it sucks. Like sometimes you have to choose not to have that conversation, especially when it comes to family, if they're just like
I
not
know.
vibing. And it does suck. But I mean, I don't know. I love the weirdness in people.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it. Like I just worry if I were to mail my underwear with my discharge on it, like what if they do some type of scientific weird shit and like I don't know, like make a mutation of me, or I don't know.
Oh my God,
Like
that's
would that
so
be
funny. I
weird?
didn't even think about that. I just thought of like it being creepy.
Yeah, yeah, but like you think about like people are fucking creepy. That's creepy times 10. And then there's
Mm.
people who buy poop too.
I don't. I a lot of it over here with my two babies.
Oh, gross. Ew. Yeah, what is like the craziest kind of like if you could share like story or situation that you went into kind of within your sex toy career?
Um, I guess like people ask me this question all the time, right? At the parties.
I'm sure.
And the thing is like
I'm sure.
it's not that weird and crazy, like people I think one of the things that people are surprised about is they're like, wow, this wasn't as weird as I thought it would be, like and because but like I do get like, messages from people about like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, my partner, like I told my partner all the things you said because I teach about the clitoral stimulation. I teach about how our women's bodies need between 10 to 20 minutes of foreplay, and I teach about how to find the G spot and stuff like that. So people will tell me
I
like,
love
"Oh
it.
my God, I told him what you said," and like I was like spraying across the room, and like these people, and it's stuff like that. But what was really funny? I thought about this too, and it doesn't even relate, but me like it's so funny doing this because like I go into people's houses that like I don't know, and
Yeah,
I met
that's true.
them like I maybe met them at a party before,
Mhm.
unless it was a referral. And so like, and it's funny because I never thought about it. My husband's like, "You're going into these strangers' houses." I'm like, "I've been doing this for 10 years
Yeah.
before you met me." So like, yeah, well, I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you, right? But
It's me.
anyway,
It's who I'm
the,
used what I'm used to.
yeah, this woman came into the room for shopping because shopping is all private, so nobody feels weird about anything. This woman came into the room and was like, "Can I show you something?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she like turned off the lights and then like literally she had glow in the dark breast implants. And like what
I
she was like, "What?" And I was new, so I was like insecure and like nervous, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like it was so funny. Like I mean, it just, and I know that doesn't have anything really to do with sex, but like just
yes, it does, but it I'm
but
sorry.
people tell me they're like, "You just make me feel so comfortable. Like I just wanted to share this with you," and I'm like. Okay, like I feel like a therapist too because people just tell me something. They're like, I've never told anyone this in my life, or I've never. I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the glow in the dark present.
I know. I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, I did not. That is first of all, that is amazing. That's, like, way better than I've seen glow in the dark nipple piercings before
Mhm. Yeah.
with, like, those little light that
Her
is amazing.
implants, like, literally lifted up her shirt, it was
Oh,
like
but
headlights,
she
like
showed
real
you
ones.
oh my god, it's like a deer in
Yeah.
headlights.
Yeah. I was new
Can't.
too, so I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you."
That's another thing too, is like you right, you're going into somebody's like home and like I know you've been doing this for 13 years, but do you still kind of like experience, the anxiety beforehand and like get nervous at all, like in
Um,
new situations?
No, the only time I get nervous is if I didn't have a party in a while, and that, like,
Mm.
happened, like, after I had my babies, like, I took, like, 6 months off, like, just because, and, like,
Yeah.
because the thing is, like, I know people are like, "This was amazing." Guys, it's a show. I've been putting it on for like, I do the
Yeah.
same thing over and over and over again, and obviously, it's different with the different people. So, like, when
Yeah.
I might be nervous, like, and then the second I start talking, I'm like, "Woo!" Like, it's my
Yes.
shtick. It's my, like, stand up, right? Like,
Yes.
and so, I don't get nervous, like, unless it's been a while, but then as soon as I start talking, it rolls out. Like I told you guys, I was a third grade teacher. Like, I
Mhm.
wanted to be a teacher since I was a kid. And
Mhm.
and I know these parties are like, oh, what, like, you went from being a teacher to that. Like, I'm still teaching, and it's
Yeah.
more fun, and it's
Yeah.
a grown-up audience, which I feel like one thing I like about adults is they can take this information that you're giving them and they can run with it now. Where kids are like, "Oh my God, remember my third grade teacher?" And they're like
Mhm.
30 and they're like, "She changed my life." Like,
Yeah, I know.
let's
It's way down the line.
yeah.
You
So
don't
I
see the
like
results.
being able to change people's life now, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I love that. Like, it's fun.
Yeah, and, like, you're still educating. You have a passion for education. You also
Yeah.
have a passion like, if we bring, like, in, like, the sex part of it, and I do that because this is how we talk about core desires. You may have a core desire for attention, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. You wanna be the person who changes life, attention. You wanna
Yeah.
be the person who educates, attention. You wanna
Yeah.
and it's a good thing, and
No,
there's
I've
not
always
many
wanted, like, I
people.
was the class
Yeah.
clown and stuff.
Yeah!
Like, I always wanted the attention.
And I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm the same fucking way. And we need people like that because if there
Yeah, I've
isn't
been
people like that,
following my core desire, like, and which is why I feel great. Like, I'm living my purpose, right? Like, how fun
yes,
is that?
you're passionate into purpose, essentially.
Yeah.
That you don't even know like was your passion either. You know,
No,
like
no. I wanted to
just
make
like
money. I was like, "Ooh,
yeah,
money."
same money
Right.
motivation. Oh my god. And I understand too when and the emphasis of like children are great, but like you don't see the long you only see the results long term with it where adults can kind of take in the information, they can talk back with you and have more of a mature conversation and you're seeing
Yeah.
it in real time. And I can agree with that. I've worked with children and I've worked with
Mhm.
adults and I
Mhm.
just prefer adults. People look at me like why? And I'm like, because I don't know, they're cooler. I don't know. I'm not a kid person. I prefer to have a mature conversation because have you met me? I can't sit here and talk to a child. I love children, don't get me wrong, but I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
sit and talk to a child about sex toys and
Mhm.
sex and positions and
Right.
orgasms and orgies and I can't do
Right.
that. And
Yeah.
so it's a frustrating extravaganza in itself. But
Mhm.
you so you started with pure romance, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So that was okay, and so can we talk a little about, like, some of the toys? Because I kinda wanna, like, get into I
Yeah.
don't know, like, your favorites. Do you have any toys with you?
Yeah, well, we're in my office right now, so I have like all of the
Oh, your
things.
little
But I
office.
took out a couple, just from different categories because people don't realize like all the different types of toys.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have to be that confusing if you just like look at the type and then go with
yeah,
that, like of what kind of pleasure you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? So like
yeah.
I have a couple here.
So you on your Linktree page, you have something, I think it was, like, Great Head O Tingle Cream or something like
Yeah,
that?
so Great Head and the Tingle Cream are two separate things.
Oh,
The
okay.
Great Head is going to calm your gag reflex. It's going to help with oral favors. It
Mm,
makes it taste better. I mean, if for those girls that are like, trying to brush their teeth and gagging, I mean,
yeah.
some people just have a really bad
Oh
gag
my god, yeah.
reflex. So that's going to make it taste a little bit better. And when you're enjoying it more, they're
Yeah.
enjoying it more because if you're like, oh, right, like,
Yeah.
that's the Great Head, and that one comes in pink strawberry or blueberry lemonade. And then
Ooh,
the O
lemonade.
cream is actually for the clitoris. So we were talking about her earlier. So we're going to go
Mhm.
back because she's one of our favorites to talk about here. And so the O cream is for the clitoris. You put a pea size amount. It's an enhancement cream. It's going to help blood flow, and blood flow is going to help you reach orgasm. So you're going to put a pea-size amount on the clitoris. I like to whip out my hand vagina at the parties like this, ladies. And so we have the two lips, labia here, clitoris here. So and because the thing I like to do, some people don't even know where it is. And again, we're not
Yep.
shaming any one, but
Yeah.
guess what? Not everybody learns these things,
Yep.
right? And so anyway, you take a pea-size amount and you put it on the clitoris, and it gets cool and tingly. It brings all the blood flow to that area area. So it helps get you in the mood if you're struggling to get in the mood. Because there's like, birth control, anti-anxiety, antidepressant, medication, stress, like
Oh,
these things
yes.
like make it hard for you to get in the mood. So if you think you're broken, right? Like this is something that can probably help, but like life really affects, especially with women, when
Yeah.
there's a ton going on in your brain, like your body might not work the way you want it to. So that's going to be like, you put it on, you're like, okay, right? And it's also great for
Oh,
my
shit.
single girls because you're like, where am I supposed to get
Like,
foreplay? Like I'm alone over
exactly.
here, right?
Yeah.
And then, and also it's great for a quickie because it speeds it up, right? Like if you don't have time to do all of that foreplay, kissing, touching, whatever, you put that on and your clitoris is like, what's next? Let's go. Like
What's
so.
next? Have you ever heard of Flint mints before?
Is that something you put in your mouth? Like a
Yeah.
mint? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Here's the tea. Dry mouth is a total mood killer. You're mid flirt, mid kiss, or maybe mid other things, and suddenly your mouth feels like it's been air dried in a desert sun. Enter Flint mints. These magical little tabs don't just freshen your breath, taste like grapes and strawberry magic, but they turn your split glands like flipping sexy little switch. One mint and suddenly I'm salivating like I just saw my crush in gray sweatpants. Hint, hint. Whoop. They're really cute. Come in a little cute box. You pull one out. It only like serves you one at a time. It's really cute. I'll share a photo. They don't taste like the mints in your grandma's purse, though. Plus, they fit perfectly in your little bag in a pocket, wherever you like to keep things handy. I keep it by the couch because that's where I'm giving head. If your mouth needs a little help getting wet, no judgment, babe, at all. Seriously. Flint's got you. Especially if you like smoke weed and you have dry mouth, and weed sex is amazing. Dry mouth, never heard of it. Flint mints.
But you know what? That's actually what I'm excited about. Like now, like branching out and like getting different products from other places is like people used to
Mm-hmm.
tell me about this stuff. And I'd be like, I've never heard of that because my only experience with sex toys was pure romance, like, and what they offered. Like,
The only thing with Flint mints is I've heard is they kind of make your mouth tingle, like your tongue tingle a little weirdly,
yeah.
which is a distraction of sorts, but they fucking work, okay? I don't care if I'm not giving, sometimes I take them and I'm not giving head. I'm smoking and I cannot stand dry mouth. When I have dry mouth, it feels like I can't swallow. And it's fucking
Right.
annoying.
Because you
So,
can't. Like, you need,
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah. So, and then I get
That's
anxiety that I can't
funny.
breathe.
I'm going
Yeah.
to look into those.
Definitely do it. So
Cool.
share these sex toys. I want to see.
Yes. So I want to share clitoral first, just because I was telling
Oh
you,
yeah,
like I do this at my parties too, because I feel like it's so important.
it
And I
is.
really do like ones that are discreet, because again, when people are like
Mm,
experimenting with toys, they might be a little intimidated about something, or maybe because I talk a lot about bringing toys into the bedroom with a partner. A lot of women come to my
mm,
parties and they're like, they think that they have to buy this stuff to use alone. Like no one should be seeing me. Now, can you? Heck yeah. Like you should have your alone time, but you shouldn't have to
yeah.
hide your
Mm-mm.
toy and act like you don't have one. Because like they're not an enemy, they are our friend, and everyone should be
Yes.
orgasming. Okay. So so right here, this one is called the Seductive Secret. And it like
Looks like a
fits right in
shark.
your fingers like this. Yeah, it looks like a little shark, doesn't it? It's funny. But it's discreet. It's not like too crazy looking, and it's small. But what it is a bullet. Like it's a little, like, those little metal egg-shaped bullet with the cord and the battery pack that you grab at
Yeah.
Spencer's when you're 18 and you're like, oh, what does that do?
I think
Like,
I
so
had one of
this
those.
is a rechargeable, waterproof bullet with a little handle right here. Okay. So very easy to massage the clitoral area of the body. Also, the lips, above the clitoris, the mound, and like all of this, it has nerve endings, guys. So like your clitoris might not be the most sensitive spot. Like we need to explore our body, which is why I tell women to orgasm alone. So then they can kind of be like,
Yeah.
oh, I like when you touch my knee, right? Like you
Yep.
don't know, right?
No,
Like,
you
and
don't
so
until you
and
try.
so this one, and the one thing I like about this, the button is right here on the side, because how
Ooh,
sometimes
nice.
you'll be using your toy and you want to like turn it up and then you move it and you're like, oh, all right, like,
Damn it. Yeah.
and so, right, like, so this, as you're using it, like you could just like, yep, yeah,
Yep.
okay, right there, right.
That's it. That's
So
the spot.
And so you can hold this or they can hold it. And again, if you do have a partner who's kind of unsure and new, like you're bringing in this tiny little thing, like, and also stuff like this you could use, guys. You can use this for oral. You could put this on the side of your mouth to
Ooh,
vibrate.
yeah.
You can use it like with your hand, like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways you can use toys. But this is a clitoral toy. So it's called
That's so
Seductive
funny.
Secret.
The vibrating on the side. I swear to God, when I went to your party, I was like, oh my God, I never thought of that. And so I started doing that. And he's like, what are you doing? And I
Does
was
he
like,
like it?
yeah, oh my God, yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I
Good.
actually tried it with like him, but it was too much. He deals with like headaches and stuff, so it was too much vibration for his
Yeah.
like peak, but I'll do it where he's eating me out and then I put it on myself and he can
Yeah.
handle that vibration, but it was just too much on him to do it with me. But
For
I
sure.
do it like with me on him,
Yeah.
and Lord, you changed my life with that one. So thank you.
Good. You're welcome. And it's crazy. I learned this through, like, from other people,
Yeah.
and like just getting it. Like, I love learning and I love
Me
teaching,
too.
because like, when are you gonna like think of this? I don't know. It's just, who can you talk to this about this stuff? Like us, right? You could talk to people like us. There's not many people out there.
I know it's hard, and it's hard to like find, and sometimes like, you'll always what I've learned within this like career choice is that people will watch it from the distance and you'll never know that they're watching, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Because like I'm very like heavy on the social media part, and I know there's people watching and I see like the same people liking it and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? If I change that one person's life, like you were talking about earlier, like just
Yeah.
changing people's lives, I'm making a monumental move. And I'm the type of
Uh-huh.
person who like needs to see results, but I
Oh
have to
yeah.
dig. I have to dig
I feel
sometimes.
like we have a lot in common, Natalie.
I agree. I have imposter syndrome. I think I
Yep.
don't know anything, but I know everything. And then you said earlier too, you get nervous, but then as soon as you start your gig, as soon as you start your
Yeah.
hustle, there's no if, ands, or
It's a
buts about it.
flow.
This is it.
Yep.
Yes.
It just
Like, what the
goes.
fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how do I do that? Everyone's like, what do you mean you like were nervous? I'm like, I was shitting my fucking pants
I
before.
like to
Like,
tell people that, because I think that they think, that people that do these things don't experience those feelings. And like,
mhm,
you got to be nervous and do it anyway. And that's how you
yeah,
gain confidence. So I love to share stuff like that too. Just, I mean, we can even put it in context of what we're talking about. Like, hey, you
yeah.
nervous to talk to your partner about this? Are you nervous to try this position? Are you guys nervous to do this? How are you ever going to do it if you just don't do it?
Yes, do it
Right.
scared, do it nervous, do it
Yeah. Yeah.
tired,
Yeah.
do it hungry. Well, don't get
Yeah.
hungry.
I
You
don't know
should
about
probably eat.
hungry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who should
get
eat?
angry. So okay, so you have
So
clitoral
yeah,
simulation.
so
Do
I
you have
got that
any
one. Now another clitoral one that I have. This one is called Opening Act.
a
And
sperm?
it looks like a giant sperm. Yeah, it's funny. Like, you're like a shark, a sperm. But this is a bullet on the end of a handle, so it's
I
really
actually
great
really
for
like that.
people with short arms. It's flexible, easy to
Mm,
hold right there. Also great for body massage, because sometimes people think they're broken. You need to do a little bit of other stuff before down here starts working, right?
oh yeah.
Touching, massaging, whatever. Like, it's, what is it? I'm trying to think of the term. Um, Desire, spontaneous desire,
Oh,
and responsive, right? Like, so most women are responsive desire, meaning you need a little bit of kissing, you need a little bit of touching, you need a little bit of, like, sexy
yeah,
talk or watching, like, for your body to start working. And then again, this is majority, not everybody. And so, like, back massage could lead to sex, like,
yeah.
and you might be like, I'm not in the mood right now, right? But like, I love this for back massage. And it's, again, easy to hold on the clitoris. It's great for doggy style, because you're not,
Because it's
women don't get a lot of
longer.
clitoral
Yeah.
stimulation during doggy style. Usually your face is like
Yeah.
in the sheets and you're like, hey, like, and
Yeah.
so this, you can hold this on the clitoris, and doggy style is a great position to get closer to that G spot area too. So that's why a
Yeah.
lot of women do like it. But we do need that clitoral. So this can be great for like the reach around for them, or for you holding
Oh
it.
yeah.
So this is the opening act. Any questions about that, or do you want me to show something else?
I just love that one specifically because it's flexible, and you're right,
Yes.
because
Yes.
there is a time when I am getting pound towned, and I'm using my like tiny little one, and I can't, it's hurting my wrist because like I have problems with my wrists due to like injuries
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and I'm trying to reach and I'm like, "Ugh," like I don't like it,
Yep.
and so I just like decide just to throw the vibrator aside. So I feel like that would definitely work for individuals who are
Yeah.
struggling with that. Or like too, like I have a specialty with sex and disability, right? And like looking at it
Oh,
from that perspective. And I feel like sex can be really ableized sometimes. And kind of just talking about how there are certain toys that are individually made, where only individuals who don't have any issues can use. But that is a specific toy that I feel like definitely could be adhered to somebody who maybe can't
wow. I
like
didn't even think
reach.
about that. But yeah, the
Yeah.
shape, the way you can
Yeah.
hold it, like move it, like it is.
Hmm.
It's great. It really, I've had
Yeah.
it in my party for maybe 10 years. Like it's just like, so, I mean, I bring new stuff in all the time, but there's some stuff I just keep because so many
Yeah.
people, like people 3 years later will be like, I finally died. And I'm like, do you want to try something new? They're like, no. Like, okay. Like,
No, give me another one. I
so
love
some
it.
people buy two so that they
Yes. Oh, you know what I also like? I like your little stickers because I bought
oh,
the
the shout when you're
flavored.
out.
Yeah, the flavored lube, and you gave
Yeah,
me such a good idea because, like, I sell, like, candles, like, dick candles, I sell
that's funny.
pussy soaps and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I need to get a sticker maker because that is such a good idea,"
I
because it's
saw
just
someone
on
else
there.
do it. And I was
Really?
like, and it was so funny. Yeah, I saw someone else do it. And I actually traded a product with a girlfriend because there was a scent I liked in the shower gel and it went discontinued.
Oh, of
And she was
course.
on my team. I know, I was so mad. And so she was like, oh, I have one left. So she gave it to me, right?
Yeah.
And it was in my shower. And every day I looked at her name. Every day I looked at her name. And I
Mhm.
said, why the hell don't I have these stickers? Right? Because every day
Yes.
I'm in my shower thinking about Kayla. And I'm like, not in a weird way, right?
Yeah.
But like I was, but the thing is people will text me and they'll be like, yo, my boyfriend was like, what is that? Who's Stacy?
Stacey gave me the lube, you know?
I know.
Okay, so we've got, like, definitely the double clitoral simulation here. Do you have anything for, like, internal G-spot
Yes,
vibration or
yes. So that
anything
was
like
what I was
that?
going to show next. So
Yeah.
again, this one has been in the lineup for 10 plus years. It's called the Main
Oh my
Attraction.
god, yeah.
And this is called a dual action toy. A lot of people like call toys that look like this like a rabbit because I feel like we've heard that on
Oh,
Sex
yeah.
in the City or stuff like that. And
Mhm. I
sometimes
love
there's
Sex and the
even bunny
City.
ears like on like the little clitoral part. But this is the clitoral part right here. This is the vaginal. And then this thicker part right here is actually for the G spot because the G spot is in and up. So it's actually behind the clitoris. And I show girls that at the party. So if you look at the shape of this toy, it's actually shaped like the female anatomy. Like, thank goodness. Okay. Because
Yeah.
people are like, that doesn't look like a penis,
Yep.
And it's like, nope,
Penises
it's
aren't.
actually meant to fit all your cracks and crevices the way that it should,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
here's the clitoral. And if you guys look right behind there, that is where the G spot area is because this is flexible to fit your body.
Yeah.
So this goes in. This part up here is hitting the clitoris, and then as we orgasm, our vaginal walls are actually like clamping together and like
Yeah.
contracting. You're able to do that harder and stronger here because it's skinnier, and then it
Yeah.
actually pulls it inside. This is also great for strengthening pelvic floor muscles if you're having any issues with that. And then the only way to have a stronger orgasm is to have stronger pelvic floor. Your orgasm
Yeah.
is your muscles contracting. So when your
Yep.
muscles are stronger, your orgasms are better. Okay. So now
Kegels.
also, what'd you say, babe?
Kegels.
Kegels, yeah. And so basically when you're having an orgasm, it's like a super strong Kegel, like, so we're doing
Yes.
our Kegels and also like, so then here's the clitoral part. I don't know if you guys can see that right
That
there.
looks so
Like,
silly. I love
what?
it.
All right. So that one's going to have that flick, which is going to be different than like the feeling of
Yeah.
this. So I like to show different things. So with this, you can have clitoral, vaginal, and G spot. And it's with a dual action toy, you can actually have a blended orgasm, which is when we can orgasm externally and internally like at the same time, which is basically just like a more intense. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, right? So that's what a dual action toy can really do for you. So that one's called the Main
I love
Attraction.
it. You know what I'm just thinking about? I don't know
What?
why, but like, do you like when COVID times came? Did you ever do like videos on Zoom,
Oh my gosh.
like
Okay. So
parties on Zoom?
COVID was my most successful year in business. Okay. I did all of my
Oh,
parties on Zoom. I sold $317,000 in 1 year. And before that, the highest I ever sold was 200,000, which is a lot, but like
but
during COVID,
holy shit!
insane. And I was doing parties every night. No one had anything to do. It was so
Yeah.
fun. And like everybody was like, had got their stimulus checks and they were like, I want vibrators, right? Like, and
Sex
so
sells.
it was literally the best in your business. It was so and like a lot of people were nervous because a lot of businesses, like business either went up for people or like out of
Yeah.
business. And so
Yeah.
yeah, and it was fun. And people actually tuned in because they had nothing to do. So I would have Zoom. I would have everybody's face on there like the Brady Bunch. And I would just be doing my same party like you saw me do
Fucking
in my
love
living room, like wearing pajama pants. So it was the best.
I love it because I feel like your energy is able to transpire through video, but also
Thank
like within
you.
person. Yeah, of course. And I was just thinking, like, oh my God, like, wait a second.
Yeah,
Like, you're doing this
fun.
so
It was
well.
fun. Yeah.
I love
But
it.
it was hard for me though, because like it's hard for me to get people's energy because I'm like I
Yeah,
thrive off other people's energy.
I feel
But
that.
when they were like their cameras were on and stuff and they were laughing and smiling, I was getting like that gratification that I needed. So I was like, like,
Yep, that
yay,
attention you need. I love it.
girl, tell me.
You have anything for anal play? I'm very curious about it because a lot of individuals I feel
I
like
do actually. This is called Secret Touch, and Secret Touch is a butt plug. Now, what a lot of people don't know about butt toys is that you can't just use anything back there. You need to use something that's meant for that area because it has to
Mhm.
have a flared base on it, a stopper.
Well, you'll end
Because
up in the emergency
in the
room.
back door, right, like stuff
Yep.
gets sucked right up there. People get like I'm not telling you. I party with a lot of nurses. Like people tell me. And so
Oh
anyway, you
God.
want a stopper. And also, I would say to go with something that vibrates. If you like vibration clitorally or vaginally, go for it because your body thinks vibration, pleasure, and it kind of like kicks in.
Yeah.
And we have so many nerve endings, even just on the outside. You don't have to insert because a lot of people I feel like they had a bad experience, they get really nervous, and also lube, friends.
Yeah.
Silicone lube. Water-based lube will
Okay.
soak in. We don't make any
I see.
natural lube in the back door. So you're not going to have a good experience if even if it was an accident or a pinky
Yeah.
finger or anything like that. If it's not comfortable, you're not going to like it, right? So
Yeah.
Secret Touch does vibrate. It has ribs right here on this side, and it is curved a little bit. This can be used men or women, okay? Because men
Mhm.
do get a lot of pleasure from backdoor play too, and there's nothing wrong with
I
that. But
wish
a
they were
lot of
more
them
comfortable with it.
yeah,
Ugh.
a lot of them feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not gay for lack of better
Yeah,
terms, but guess what?
I
Like,
hate that.
no, like you have
That's
nerve
literally
endings
your
there, and
part.
it's actually, yeah. Once men are comfortable enough to do it, they're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like I
Like,
just,
what have I
anyway.
been
So
missing?
Secret Touch, and then we do also have some like anal beads and stuff. I didn't have them with me, but just like different types. But again, all of them kind of have a flared base, and make
Yeah.
sure you use a lube, for sure,
Yeah.
and get a ton of foreplay because it's not going to be comfortable back there unless you are like all revved up and like ready,
Yes.
especially if you're new to it.
Yeah, and something I learned the other day because I'm constantly educating and learning is that some individuals who experience like unreliable erections or any type of dysfunction of any sort that are males, they they don't know how to gauge their arousal level. Okay. We have like
Hmm.
1 to 10. And sometimes some people within like level 2, their anal muscles are constantly like this. Learning how to relax your anal muscles is a powerhouse. Okay. So
Wow.
I feel like, when you present like anal toys and I don't know if there's like men in the room or even if like wives who can like teach them this if they ever have an unreliable erection or sexual dysfunction, using a anal toy may on their own may be able to help them kind of gauge their arousal level and work on their anal muscles and see what it feels like internally, so then when it's external, I feel like I want to come, you learn to relax your muscles. It's kind of like a form of like edging in a
Wow.
way, but their males anal muscles are so fucking tight and usually they don't know how to handle it, and that is what happens when people
Huh.
come too
That's
quickly or
really
anything like that.
cool. Yeah,
I
I love
know.
learning stuff like that because so many people struggle with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's like in there goes back to the, shame we were talking
Yeah.
about earlier, like not
Yeah.
knowing how to talk about it. And so I wish men, understood their anus a little bit better. And this is funny, but I was like, wish they did because it's like their prostate is there. There's
Yes.
a
Well,
lot of
that's why
nerve
I talk
endings
about
there.
the back door with the prostate, right? And I tell them, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
very powerful, like orgasm, and also healthy for the prostate because prostate cancer is one of the biggest ones in men. I think if not,
Yeah.
like, and it's like
Yeah.
usually like secret, like you don't know, and
Yeah.
then you find out, right? Like, so yeah, keep it healthy. Keep
keep
it
it
keep it
healthy.
fun.
Keep it healthy. And also talking about like individuals who maybe don't like the back door, don't feel obligated as well to even confront that. Like I have irritable bowel syndrome, ain't nothing going up in there, okay?
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah.
coming out. If you shove something up in there, nothing's ever coming out ever again. Like
I say that too at the parties. I go, this isn't for everyone. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But like, but don't like discount it if you didn't like attempt it properly, right? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, but it can bring a lot of pleasure. If
Mhm.
if you're comfortable. Again, this is something you want to be. You're not going to do this with somebody that you're like not comfortable with, right?
Yeah,
Like,
don't put yourself
it's
in an uncomfortable situation.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm curious too, like with you selling toys and you have to mail them to people sometimes or you give it to them there. Have you had any individuals who gave you like a really bad review and give you like a hard time about it? Like anyone who's
Mhm.
given you a struggle bus of a situation?
I mean, I've had people say that, like, maybe it didn't hit them in the right spot. And I say this at the party. I'm like, your clitoris might be 3 inches up. It might be that, like, everybody's body is
Yeah.
shaped different. And I let them know, like, hi, like, you can't return this if you use it, right? And then
Yeah.
people laugh, but they know, right?
Yeah, you can't.
But honestly, people usually don't give me a hard time about it. I think it's because I built such a good relationship with them at the parties, and they know that,
Yeah.
like, I'm not like, they
An
know it's
asshole.
not the toy. They're like, oh, it might my my body. But I always usually do offer them like my like discount that I get it at. Like, I'm like, hey, can I
Yeah.
give you something else at 50% off? And they're like,
Oh, you're
oh, like I don't
yeah.
want like someone to be disappointed, because like I want them to tell people that they had a great experience with me.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like I'm not like gonna make any money on that, but I want this person to like and if
Enjoy
they
it.
and some people I'm sure never reach out, like, so if they put the effort to reach out,
Yeah.
and tell me, like, because I want to know, because if enough people are like, this sucks, I don't talk about it. Like, I really don't. Like, I base what I talk about and show on reviews. I'm actually doing product testers right now, in my
Ooh.
Facebook group, because I'm getting new products. And so I want to see what people like, right? And
Yes.
so I'm sending this out. They're going to like give feedback, and then I'll know what to add to like my new lineup, for like new things. And when new things come out, I'm like, oh, do we like this? Because if people like it, then I'm going to show it to other people.
The other day I
Oh,
got
that's great.
it's amazing. The other day, this really cool thing that I got, it wraps around the chair, and it's like a little circle thing, and it's to stick the dildo on the chair.
Uh-huh.
And it like suctions because you can't really stick it on a chair because it won't stay. But there's like a little circle, and it's a circle thing, like it spins like a
You're gonna
lazy
have to tell me
Susan.
the stuff that you really like so that I
I
can
will.
like see if I can. Yeah, I love that. That sounds awesome.
Right, and, I know you have, like, straps and, like, swings and stuff like that, you can add that to the mix of that because
Yeah.
some individuals have a stool they wanna go on or whatever it may be. Again, ableism. If they're having difficulty, this can wrap around something, wrap around a
Yeah.
pillow even, it can wrap around a fucking pillow, and I'll
Yeah.
show you it, it's really fucking cool. I review, like, these, like, nipple stimulations. I'm not big on nipples, and I think, like, as I age, I may be. I've heard a lot about that, but it's just really cool to see how many different sex toys there really fucking is out there.
I
Like,
know. I can't. I'm like blown away. Like it's crazy. And I
it's
love when
wild.
people text me and they'll send me a picture and be like, "Can you get something like this?" Because then I like know, like, oh, people are curious about this, and you know what?
Yes.
And they don't feel weird asking me to help them find this, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I
You're the
love that.
person. You're the person for them. I'm curious, so you are right now with Pure Romance. What's kind of next for you within your career?
So, Natalie, actually, Pure Romance, I was with Pure Romance for almost 13 years, and they actually let go all of their consultants at the beginning of July. Like, so they're
Motherfuckers.
not like they don't have any consultants. So it was literally like a
Oh
huge
my
life
god.
change for me, where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, right? Like this was my life. Like I was obsessed
Wow.
with this company.
Yeah.
Over the last couple, because there was a lot of changes over the last 2 years with the company. So I've been like working with that. But honestly, there's been like a lot of grieving. And honestly, I thought that
Mhm.
like it was Pure Romance that I was like obsessed with and like whatever, but it really, I'm doing the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it's the women, it's the parties, it's
Yeah.
the conversations, it's the toys, it's the creams, it's the lubes, and it's me giving people a safe place to talk about it. So it's been really empowering to see that like people are still like, I'm still going to shop with you. Like, and
Yeah.
so now that's why I'm asking you to share stuff with me, because I get to now, like, well, first of all, I got my own LLC. And so, yeah.
Let's go.
And so,
I'm so
now I
proud.
can like get products from like, I mean, I technically was a business, but like, now I
No,
am
now
the
you're under.
business.
Yes, this is
Right.
amazing. Oh,
Thanks. And so I'm like, I'm scoping things out. People tell me, "Oh, this massage oil was great," or "This is this." And and I'm like excited to like try
yeah.
things and see what my people want, because people would ask me for like, "Hey, do you have anything glass?" And I'd be like, "No." And I didn't
Yep.
even like know anything about it.
That's a
So
huge thing. Yeah.
now, as a learner like you, I get to like explore all these new things and educate and
Yeah.
look, and also I'm kind of sensitive to ingredients. So now I get
Same.
to like look at like things that are more sensitive for my girls that are like, you know what, I don't like fragrance. Where we only had stuff with fragrance. Like now I can be like, hey, this is an offer that I have for you. So so that's what I'm doing now, is I'm still doing the same thing. Like I'm doing my sales, I'm doing birthday coupons, I'm doing my parties, I'm
Yeah.
posting my stories, like whatever. And I'm just like, now it's me and not pure romance. And I think this, we talked about imposter syndrome
Yeah.
earlier,
We
and
did.
I struggled from this my whole life. And it's so funny because my husband was like, babe, this is you, they like you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm like, what? He's like
We
they
love a
don't care about
motivational
pure
husband.
romance. He's like, they met you. And so
Yeah.
I think sometimes we have to like, it's really important what other people see in us because we don't see it in ourselves. And that's one of the things I
Yes.
really love about what I do. Because now I'm able to like, I mean, I'm still struggling to see it in myself, but I love
Yeah.
helping people to see the best in them. And so yeah, and so now I'm like, I'm doing it and I'm in the beginning stages of it. And I have a ton of boxes back here of stuff that just came, and I have more stuff coming today, and I'm
Oh,
shipping out
Christmas.
product testers to my best clients. And I actually had I sold like $6,000 in product testers. People were like,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's a mystery. They don't even know what it is. Like, I'm like, hey, help me
Oh,
try this stuff. Yeah, like, because
like
it's a
here,
surprise.
surprise.
Like, isn't that cool?
I love it. You know what? And I like that you've looked at this from, you kind of went through the stages, right? Like
I did.
grieving and upset. And then you went, nope, fixed. And it was like, that is kind of, again, I think that's kind of where like we, are the same, because we have to feel the emotion and feel it
Oh yeah.
through. But then we're always figuring out what's next, what's better, what's bigger. And this is such a blessing because you are not under somebody else's and going by
Yeah.
their rules. It's your life, your business, and your rules now. And
Yeah.
that's just so amazing. And like, that's better. And I do have a couple products I will definitely send you. There's this, I'm really sensitive to lubes. Very,
Yeah. A
very
lot of
sensitive.
people are.
Like, and it was a struggle bus until my friend showed me this lube. It's called like Intimate Earth or something. It's an organic lube,
I've heard of Intimate
and
Earth. Yeah.
it's please sell that. Please. This is, or somehow figure out something within there because it
Intimate.
changed the game. I was
And it's a
using,
water-based lube?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
They might have silicone based within their, but I don't think so. But they have this caramel flavor because again, flavoring was rough for me. So like say like obviously normally you don't put flavor inside,
No, we
but
do.
like
I did it. I did sell water-based flavored lubricants, for sure. Some people don't want it, but some
yeah,
people do.
and like the flavor would sometimes with other lubes give me issues and stuff like that. And so I was really able to find my lube and find what fits for me because constantly I was using Glide or those other shit that's filled with chemicals and
Right.
I would always burn or have bacterial vaginosis
And how
or
are we going to orgasm when we're not comfortable and it hurts
yeah,
and we have like nervousness about, is this going to make me like break out, right? Like, is
yeah.
this going to make me itchy? You're not going to orgasm if you're feeling these things, right? Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
mhm.
Well, before we kind of get to the end of this podcast, I want to have a questions to communicate rapid fire round with you
All
with
right, let's do
questions. Are
it.
you up for it? Okay.
I'm up for it.
All right. Bubba above. All right. Favorite self-care treat? Like, don't think.
You said self-care treat, and I thought getting my nails done.
Okay, just do that. Okay, that's good. All right. All right. Next. A scent that instantly turns you on.
Ooh, like cedar wood mahogany or something like that.
Ooh,
Like,
cedarwood. Okay. All right. A song on your intimacy playlist.
Oh God. Anything that makes me want to move my body. Like, I don't know. Like, like I don't have a specific
That's okay.
song.
It's like, do you like kind of like just music that has like a up and down beat, like
Yes, like a
sensual?
right, like a little
Okay.
beat to it, right? Where you
Yeah.
can kind of like start
Move.
like moving your body, like even if you're kissing or touching,
Yes.
right? Like I love that because I feel like movement is huge that gets all your blood flowing.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. What's your favorite sex position?
Um, doggy.
Hell yeah. With the vibrator. All right. Last one. Lube or spit?
Lube.
Yep. I knew that one.
What? That is rapid fire. I don't even have the question. Spit is gonna like no, that's gonna
Yeah.
dry up, girl.
And, I talk about spit all the time. It has so much fucking bacteria in it.
Right.
It is I know when, like, you're, like, giving head and stuff like that, it automatically transpires and you gotta pee afterwards, but god, fuck, please use lube
Mm-hmm.
over spit. Spit
Mm-hmm.
is what if you just, like, ate, like, jalapeno poppers, like, an hour ago, and then you go to fucking give head and then you're I can't. So just, like, lube, please, and,
Uh-huh.
like, putting lube on your hand, warming it up, and then
And
putting
you know, well, I'm sure you probably know this, but like you're actually 80% more likely to have an orgasm while using a lube just
yep,
because it actually hydrates those vaginal walls. It's going to create more pleasure for you. The more pleasure you have, the more likely you are to have an orgasm. And this doesn't, you don't have to be old or broken or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
when I first went to my, I remember I was with my college boyfriend and I was on birth control. And I
yeah,
know
oh my
this is like
god.
rapid fire. And like I
No,
didn't
this
even realize that, but the
is
thing was,
real.
is like I like couldn't ever get wet ever. And I was like, so I went to my doctor, and you know what my doctor said? My doctor's like, well, maybe they're not the one. And like they wasn't, but like told me that like something was wrong with me, like I wasn't getting turned on. And like he was such a nice guy. And obviously this was years ago,
Yeah.
but like I thought my body was broken. And it was because I was on birth control. So I always share that at my parties. So like lube, use some lube.
Yeah, the birth control, I feel like I can go on a conversation about that forever,
I've been off of it since it for 8 years, and like in my body, my life's never been better. And now, obviously, it worked. I did not have babies while I was on it, like thank
yeah,
God,
I'm on it
right?
now.
But like, it just fucks with you.
It does. It is fucking with me really bad. My, libido is shit.
Oh yeah,
That's to do with, like, stress and everything like that, but,
all of it.
um, I don't want babies right now, and it
Hmm.
just is what it
Oh,
is,
I get it. I
and
get it. That's why I was on it. Hmm.
yeah, but, like, I think in the long run, when I feel a little bit more stable, I feel like I'll probably get off of it, but there's just, like, so many negatives with any type of birth control, it just really fucking sucks.
I know.
Um, for the viewers kind of listening right now and obviously laughed and cried and whatever it may be while watching this episode, what would you kind of want to leave them with when it comes to them wanting to explore like sex toys and they're new to it and maybe they're a little
Yeah.
shy?
You know what? Well, I always recommend something clitoral, but even just like, touching yourself with your fingers, like exploring your body, like again, doing this on your own. But a lot of women, you need like that time, like maybe in the shower or after you take a bath or at night, like you want to be like relaxed, like and
Yeah,
just like you're on a date like with yourself. Like I feel like we don't give ourselves enough love,
I love that.
and the more you love yourself, the more you're going to be able to let other people love you too, whether that be like intimately, sexually, like whatever. And I think that that's really hard because for women, we grow up and we're like taking care of everyone and we're worried about everyone else, and and we forget about ourselves. So I want you to
Yeah,
like, spend some time with yourself, like see what you like, and explore, like start with the clitoris because that's majority. Now it might not be you,
yeah.
but get something that you think you might actually use. At my parties, when I'm showing something, I'm like, do you picture yourself using this? Please don't put this in your nightstand. Please don't keep it in the bag. Do you feel comfortable with this? Like, I don't care if it's $24 or $100. Like,
Yeah,
could you picture yourself actually doing this, right?
yeah,
And yeah, give yourself permission to feel pleasure, because I feel like us too, like we kind of like we get nervous, right? We're like, oh my gosh, like a lot of women think they should only be feeling pleasure with a partner or with
yeah.
their husband, or it's crazy the stuff we hear growing up, like what we're taught about sex and the shame around it. So get to know yourself, love your body, and the more comfortable you become with yourself, then the more likely you are going to orgasm. And like, and it's so sexy for your partner to see you orgasm. So if you're not orgasming, they don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't fake it. Stop faking it,
Don't leave them in the
please.
dark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah, the
unfair to
faking it.
them. And one thing I like about my husband is like he loves learning this stuff from me, and he'll hear me, like he heard me because we met during COVID, so he heard me doing a lot of my parties because like I never had guys there. And then he was
Yeah.
like, babe, my friends need to know this stuff. He was like, like,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
just like, and he would tell me like what guys, he's like, I never knew that, like this, or I never knew that, or and how are we supposed to know you don't like something? You got to tell. And so it's really cool to hear like the guy's perspective of it. They
Yeah.
want to know, they want to
They do.
please you. And if they don't, move on.
Yeah, a man who yearns earns. All right. That's
Uh-huh.
what I
Yeah.
always say. And I always say too, like an emphasis of like having a date with yourself and stuff like that is that, forgive yourself for not knowing the things before you knew them and before you
Yeah.
learned them. Like this is an explorative thing and we're all here to really just feel what feels good for us. So I want
Yeah.
to thank
And
you
it
so
might
much
was something
for
that now might be different than 10 years ago, right? Like,
yes.
like so, you know, I don't know. My dog is barking.
You're fine. You're good. Well, thank
Two
you so
kids,
much
a dog.
for it. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I have a dog too, but she's quiet. But
Good.
I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspectives and sharing your new career and your new
Yeah.
paths and really diving into, just sex toys and clarifying this is sex toy parties, not
Yeah.
sex parties. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was fun.
Holy fucking shit. I loved it. It was sexy. It was amazing. It was educational. It was empowering. And Stacey really, reminded me and sure reminded us that empowerment really does start with knowing your body and owning your desire and giving yourself permission and grace to feel fucking good. Hello. And also emphasizing that there's no need to have the guilt and shame, but if you do, let's work through it. Let's communicate, right? And if you love today's episode, Stacey has some sneaky links. She's also very inspiring, and you can find her at her Facebook group called Intimacy by Design. And you can also follow her on TikTok and Instagram at Stacey Bach and her website at shopwithstacey.com. I definitely look forward to staying in connection with Stacey. And, when she comes back up to Buffalo, she does do parties. So look out for that. And also, don't forget to subscribe and share Talk About the Taboo because we do a lot of talking about shame and desire, but we just talk about topics that need to be talked about more so they become less taboo in the first place, right? So, until next time, please stay curious, stay connected, and really, please don't be afraid to explore your pleasure and your partners. I love you all and with lots and lots of lube. Remember, communicate. Mwah.